and got the train overnight from Chisinau, Moldova to Kiev. Now, on this train, I found out later that because there's no airports involved to get in and out of Ukraine, there's a lot of bad guys that take this train.
Right.
So it was about 3 a.m. when I went to the food cart. And I went to the food cart and I sat down and there's these 2 big guys, 110 kilo, 120 kilo, big guys, bald heads, like mafia guys, units, right? Sitting over there. And I'm sitting there and I sit in the food cart and I said to the guy, food, he doesn't speak any English. I was like, bro, I'm in the food cart. You've been in the food cart for 60 years. Why do people come to the food cart? Do we need a language? Give me some food. Fuck dumbass. So anyways, give me some food. So he brings me some soup, whatever. I'm sitting there. The 2 big guys get up and they walk over to me. And one of them sits here, so I'm now trapped. I can't move. And the other one sits opposite me. And I realize I still have my Rolex on. Look at the kid, right? I got my Rolex on. So I'm like, okay. I've been around the world, right? And I know the world. I know how it functions. So I'm sitting there going, okay, worst case, I give up my Rolex. I survive. Who gives a shit, right? So the guy sits opposite me and goes, where are you from? I said, I live in Romania. I didn't say I was American. Didn't say I was English. I live in Romania. You're Romanian. I said, no, I live there. And he talked to me in Romanian. I don't speak Romanian, of course. So I was like, I understand, but I don't speak. Blah, blah, blah. Why you're on this train? Start talking to me. Anyway, he gets a bottle of vodka and starts pouring shots. You drink. I was like, oh, okay, fine. Have 1, have 2, have 3. And they're drinking, like Russians. Like bam, bam, bam,
just
bam.
Relentless.
And I'm like, okay, he just wants to fuck me up on booze. And that's my last skill gone. So it got to a point where I was like, look, bruv, no more. I'm not drinking anymore. Can't drink anymore. I'm not Russian. Try to make a joke of it. I'm not Russian. He goes, oh, okay. Why you're on my train? I said, it's your train? Why is it your train? He goes, oh, this is all mine. Then he'll start talking some shit. I said, all right, cool. And then he took my hand to shake my hand. He goes, oh, this is all mine. Did it like this. He took my hand and he went and he looked at my watch like this. And then looked at me.
That is a long
You don't want that.
And I was like,
that's not good.
Fuck.
That's not good.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I said, are you going to take my watch?
Was this guy bigger than you, by the way?
Yeah. So I'm like 95.
He's at 120, right?
Yeah, I'm like 95 kilo. He's fat, but he's big.
Yeah.
Right? Just a big guy.
Big guy.
But that's not even about it. The truth is about, like, we're talking about fighting and violence. They're different things, right? I'm a world level kickboxer, but I'm sitting down. There's a 110 kilo here guy next to me. I'm pinned against a wall.
Yeah.
This guy here.
That watch is gone if it wants to be gone.
What the fuck am I going to do? They might have blades on them.
Yeah.
The fuck are you going to do? Right? You're going to die. It's stupid to really try and fight. So I said to him, are you going to take my watch? And he kind of looked at me and goes, why do you think I'm a thief? And I said, no, I've just been around the world. I understand how the world works. And he asked me then, he said, what's your job? I said, I'm a fighter. I'm a kickboxer. He said, oh, you're a kickboxer for who? And I told him the organizations I fought for, etc. I definitely didn't scare him. He wasn't scared of me kickboxing, but I think he respected me.
Right.
Oh.
And what's funny about the world is that when you're a fighter, you get a lot of respect from people. You get fear from some people, but I actually think respect will save you from more trouble than fear ever will. And I think he respected me. He was like, oh, this guy's brave. He's a fighter. And he respected me. And I think he changed his mind. And he said, okay. Have a nice time. And he goes, number 13. That was the carriage number me and my brother were in. So we already knew what carriage I was in.
Yeah.
So he said, bro.
He'd eyed it up. Yeah.
He literally did this. I went to get up to leave. And when I went to the door to open the food carriage, it was locked.
Oh, so they
was
had
locked.
a
And now the old man goes, oh, and gets his ass up and comes over with the key. I was like, why the fuck did you? And I said to him, you locked the door? Looks at me like, yeah. And what? He's paying me, not you.
Yeah.
Fucking prick. Right? So anyway, so we got off in the train in Kiev. I didn't want to take the train home. That's the whole reason I told the train story. The train is now mafia run. Don't take the train home. So Eurovision ends. There's no flights back because everything's been booked up for fucking months. I don't want to take the train home. So the only other way home is car. Right? So I start going to taxis saying, can you take me to Romania? Don't give a fuck. I'll give you a 2 years wages. I'm rich. Yeah. Take me to Romania. But so long story short, this dude turns up. We have some booze. The guy is like fucking 14. I've never seen someone so young drive a car. Guy's literally a kid. I swear he must have been maybe actually genuinely 14. I was like, bro, can you drive? I'm a rally driver. I was like, you're not a fucking rally driver. What kind of lie is this? Why is everyone lying to me that you're a rally driver? You're like 14. I'm 18. I was like, bro, you're 14.
Yeah.
So anyway, he says he's the only one with a visa, right? So we get in the car, we start drinking. We're driving. Before this, I'd never heard of Transnistria in my life. Didn't know it was a place that existed. It's a breakaway micronation in Moldova. I looked this up afterwards. At the end of the USSR, they wanted to be more pro-Russian. Moldova wanted to be more pro-Romanian. They started some civil war, blah, blah, blah. 1992, nobody gives a shit. It's a breakaway micronation, right? So we're driving, and then me and Tristan by now are hammered because we drunk like the whole bottle of vodka.
Yeah.
And I look out the window and there's like blacked out, fully black, like Spetsnaz soldier. And I'm like,
Fuck.
T, see that? And he's like, what? I'm like, who the fuck are these? He goes, border guards. So they don't look like normal border guards to me, bro. They look like bad boys.
Special
special
forces
guys.
Shit. Yeah.
So anyway, we get to the fucking border and they come up to the car and they go, start talking in Russian, drag the driver out. So they drag him out the car. Fucking border and they come up to the car and they go, start talking in Russian, drag the driver out. So they drag him out the car and they close the door. So now me and Tristan are sitting in the car for about a good 10 seconds. The driver's missing. And we're like, the fuck is this? And Tristan's like, I don't know, maybe they didn't like the car, blah, blah. Then the two doors open, they grab us, pull out the car, right? So we're like, fuck. And when we get out the car, we see fully blacked out, black fucking helmets, black fucking ski mask, fully black, ARs, black, like Spetsnaz guys, right? They drag us, take us into this little hut, little thing by the side of the road. And we're like, what the fuck is the problem? And they're like, who are you? We're like, we're coming back to Romania from Ukraine. I'm like, why are you in Ukraine? And I said,
not Eurovision.
You
almost want to lie.
You know what? The guy looks at me like, he looks at me and goes, this is either the worst cover story I ever heard, or this guy is a fucking idiot. Because the worst thing is, I was wearing a black t-shirt and like some green jogging bottoms. He goes, why are you dressed like soldier? I was like, I'm not dressed like a fucking soldier. I got jogging bottoms and a t-shirt on. Bro.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm built. I'm military aged. I look like a fucking soldier, right?
You do have the soldier look. You got a soldier look.
A fucking American passport. Yeah. So he goes, I go, Eurovision? Kind of this. And he looked at me just with hatred. He was not happy with who I was and why I was there.
Yeah.
So they asked us a few more questions. We were sitting in the border guards. They went and they took all our luggage, poured it all on the floor, just poured it all out in the dirt. And there was 4,000 American there. And I was like, listen, bro, we live in Romania. You can Google us. We live in Romania. We just went to Eurovision, went to Ukraine, etc. I didn't know Transnistria was a place. I'm not here to cause any problems. I just want to go home, please, blah, blah, blah. He goes, you must pay fine. I was like, okay, what's the fine for? He goes, for impersonating soldier.
Oh, fucking hell.
I was like, oh, how much? He goes, 4,000 American.
Oh, that's yeah.
How convenient. It's 4,000 American in the fucking
very
suitcase. Convenient.
I was like, oh, that's very convenient. You can take exactly the money in my suitcase. Please take it, sir. All right. Yeah, thank you. All right. Sorry about that. I'll make sure I never wear green jogging bottoms again. Sorry. Bundled us in a car and escorted us to the border and told us to fuck off and said never come back again. So that was in Transnistria. But that was pretty scary because they had the Rottweilers as well on the chain, you know, like on the bark, trying to bite you and shit. And I was just sitting there. And you know what? When you're a fighter, something about you in every single situation, you analyze it for like combative ability.
Like, would I be able to get out of this?
Like Jason
situation?
Bourne.
Yeah.
You know, you're sitting there going, okay, this guy, I could take him. It's two outside, they're armed, dog there, that guy, sniper tower, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
It's like
that moment of realization, there's actually no getting out of this.
It's always an option.
It's a movie.
Yeah, you're like, that won't work. Yeah. That won't work.
Well, if they had guns, so it was like, it was a wrap.
I'm going to Transnistrian jail.